Breaking news: U.S. and Philippine warships have launched a high-stakes joint patrol near a newly discovered gas field, marking a significant escalation in regional tensions and drawing the world's attention to these strategic waters. Their every move is shadowed by a Chinese destroyer, a stark reminder of the ever-present rivalry and the razor-thin margin for error in these contested seas. The world watches as these two allied navies boldly enter the South China Sea, a region where energy, sovereignty, and global interests collide, and where the balance of power is constantly being tested. This joint patrol is a direct response to the recent discovery of the Malampaya East 1 gas field, a potential game-changer for the Philippines, promising energy security and economic growth, while simultaneously challenging China's sweeping maritime claims. On board the USS John Finn, American sailors scan the horizon with heightened vigilance, aware that any miscalculation could spark a dangerous confrontation. They are joined by the Philippine frigate BRP Jose Rizal, its crew focused and resolute, determined to assert their nation's right to operate freely in international waters, and to protect their newfound resources. Beneath these ships lies a massive energy reserve that Manila claims as its own, raising the stakes from abstract diplomatic disputes to a very real and tangible conflict over vital resources that could shape the region's future. This operation follows months of careful planning and the Philippine Department of Energy's dramatic announcement of vast gas reserves near Scarborough Shoal, a move that has electrified the nation and alarmed its neighbors. For the Philippines, this is more than a patrol. It's a lifeline, a chance to secure energy independence and economic opportunity for millions of its citizens. For China, however, it's seen as an unacceptable provocation, a direct challenge to its authority and ambitions in the South China Sea. The U.S. Navy's presence sends a clear message: Washington stands firmly with its treaty ally, ready to defend shared interests and uphold international law. These ships are more than just military hardware. They are powerful symbols of a deepening alliance and a hardening resolve to protect what both nations see as their rightful stake in the region. The patrol is not merely symbolic. It serves as a protective shield for future exploration and drilling, ensuring that vital energy operations can proceed without interference. As these warships sail onward into the vast, unpredictable expanse of the Indo-Pacific, they chart a new, uncertain, and potentially perilous course, one that could redefine the region's future and the world's balance of power. The water appears calm, its surface reflecting the gentle hues of dawn. But beneath this serene exterior, a different reality unfolds, one charged with uncertainty and anticipation. The tension simmers just below the surface, invisible to the untrained eye, but unmistakable to those who live and breathe these waters. Aboard the BRP Jose Rizal, the crew moves with quiet professionalism, every action deliberate. Each sailor is acutely aware of the pressure and the risks that come with patrolling these contested seas, where every decision could have far-reaching consequences. Every radar blip and radio call is scrutinized with heightened vigilance. This is the front line of a modern standoff, where information and reaction time can mean the difference between peace and conflict. Philippine sailors know the 2016 Hague ruling invalidated China's sweeping claims, but Beijing continues to assert its presence, ignoring international law and challenging the status quo. On the water, legal victories mean little against the reality of military might. The rules are written in ink, but enforced with steel. The American presence aboard the USS John Finn underscores the global stakes. Over a third of the world's shipping passes through these waters, making this not just a regional dispute, but a matter of international security and economic stability. The alliance is real, forged and tested by years of joint exercises and shared missions. Yet, even with strong partnerships, the tension is inescapable, hanging in the air like a storm waiting to break. On the horizon, a Chinese warship shadows the patrol, its presence a constant reminder that routine maneuvers can quickly become a confrontation of wills and strategy. No shots are fired, but the message is unmistakable. This is a challenge, a test of resolve and restraint. The space between ships is charged with unspoken threats and diplomatic signals, a silent language understood by all who serve here. One wrong move, one misinterpreted signal, could trigger a rapid escalation, turning tension into crisis in an instant. This is not a drill. Every moment is real, every decision critical. The world holds its breath, watching and waiting, as the tension on the water continues to build. The Malampaya East 1 gas field has become the epicenter of a growing geopolitical storm, drawing the attention of powerful nations and shaping the future of the region. For the Philippines, this is not just about energy, it's about economic survival, national security, and the right to determine its own destiny. The stakes are incredibly high for every Filipino family and business. The original Malampaya field, once a symbol of hope, is now running dry. This decline threatens to plunge the country into an energy crisis, with the risk of blackouts and economic slowdown looming large. Without a new and reliable source of energy, the nation faces the grim prospect of soaring electricity prices, putting extra strain on households and businesses already struggling with rising costs. This would force the Philippines to rely even more on volatile imports, making the country vulnerable to global price shocks and supply disruptions. The discovery of Malampaya East 1 brought a wave of hope, a rare opportunity to secure the nation's energy future for generations to come, and to fuel progress and development. It promises not only stable power and lower costs, but also a much-needed boost to the economy, creating jobs and supporting growth across the country. Yet, its location near Scarborough Shoal places it at the heart of the South China Sea dispute, making it a flashpoint in a tense regional standoff. The gas field lies well within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, recognized by international law as its rightful territory, but it is also claimed by China, falling inside the controversial 9-dash line that Beijing uses to assert its dominance over much of the South China Sea. For Manila, developing Malampaya East 1 is a matter of sovereign right and national pride, a stand for independence and self-reliance. For Beijing, however, it is seen as a direct provocation, challenging its sweeping maritime claims and strategic interests. The Malampaya East 1 gas field has transformed a long-standing territorial argument into a high-stakes resource conflict, with the future of a nation and the stability of an entire region hanging in the balance. The South China Sea is a patchwork of overlapping claims, with China's 9-dash line at the center. Beijing asserts historical rights, but these are not recognized under international law. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan all have claims based on the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, granting them 200 nautical-mile exclusive economic zones. China's line cuts through these zones, creating a fundamental conflict. In 2016, the Hague Tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, rejecting China's claims. Beijing dismissed the ruling and has since militarized artificial islands, using its coast guard to enforce its will. The Philippines has the law, China has the power. Every attempt to exercise legal rights, like developing a gas field, is met with physical resistance. The Joint Patrol is a display of Allied military cooperation under the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. The USS John Finn, an advanced destroyer, leads the U.S. contribution with formidable firepower and surveillance capabilities. The BRP Jose Rizal, though smaller, is a modern symbol of Philippine sovereignty. Both crews have trained together, ensuring seamless communication and coordination. The patrol involves more than sailing in formation. It's a series of drills, surveillance, and simulated defense scenarios. Airborne assets like P-8 Poseidon aircraft provide intelligence from above. This operation demonstrates a multi-layered integrated defense posture. The message: the Allies are prepared, professional, and united. Their presence is a clear deterrent to aggression. The Chinese Navy's presence is a constant, unsettling shadow over the patrol. A Chinese destroyer keeps pace, its mission clear: monitor, signal, and assert Beijing's claim. The ship's crew tracks every move, collecting intelligence and projecting psychological pressure. This shadowing tactic is designed to challenge without provoking open conflict. The standoff is a tense game of cat and mouse, where restraint is critical. Any miscalculation could escalate rapidly. China's surveillance extends beyond the destroyer. Satellites, radar, and maritime militia fishing vessels all play a role. The plan's presence is just the visible tip of a vast apparatus of control. For the US and Philippine navies, every maneuver is watched, every signal analyzed. The balance between deterrence and provocation is razor thin. The Joint Patrol sends shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific. Southeast Asian nations like Vietnam and Malaysia watch closely, quietly welcoming a pushback against China. They're modernizing their own defenses, emboldened by Allied action. The patrol strengthens calls for greater regional security, cooperation. U.S. allies like Japan and Australia see it as a crucial step in building a network to maintain stability. China condemns the patrol as foreign interference, seeking to isolate the Philippines diplomatically. Beijing offers incentives to some neighbors, warnings to others, aiming to undermine the alliance. The region is on edge, as alliances shift and the stakes rise. For ordinary Filipinos, the drama at sea has real consequences. Fishermen have long faced harassment near Scarborough Shoal, losing access to vital fishing grounds. The Joint Patrol brings hope that they might fish safely again. The new gas field promises relief from high electricity bills and energy insecurity. Success means stable power, lower costs, and national pride. Seeing the Philippine Navy sail with the U.S. is a morale boost, countering the narrative of helplessness. Social media is filled with support, but anxiety remains. The risk of conflict is real, and no one wants war. Filipinos trust in their sailors' professionalism and their leaders' wisdom. The nation watches, torn between hope and fear, as its future is contested at sea. This joint patrol marks a new, more confrontational phase in the South China Sea. The Malampaya East 1 discovery has shifted the conflict from territory to resources, raising the stakes. Manila and Washington now assert their rights with credible military power, not just words. The greatest danger is miscalculation. One mistake could trigger a wider conflict. Both sides possess immense military power. The risks are enormous. International law and diplomacy are more critical than ever. This patrol is a test of the world's resolve to defend a rules-based order. The Philippines, with U.S. backing, signals it will not be pushed out of its own waters. The game is now about securing vital resources for national survival. As the patrol continues under the watchful eye of China, the region enters a new and perilous chapter.